The camera world feels strangely quiet right now. Not the kind of quiet that means nothing is happening. It's the kind of silence before a storm. The kind that makes professionals pause before buying their next body. The kind that has rumor sites refreshing every morning, waiting for the slightest leak. And at the center of all this tension is one name. Canon EOS R4. The very mention of the R4 sparks curiosity. For years, people asked where it was. If the R5 was Canon's resolution powerhouse, and the R3 was the ultimate speed machine, then what exactly was the R4 supposed to be? For a decade, Canon's lineup has felt like a puzzle with one missing piece. The R. The RP. The R6. The R5. The R3. All released. Yet nothing with the number 4. Some claimed Canon avoided it because 4 is unlucky in certain cultures. Others thought it was just marketing. But insiders tell a different story. The R4 wasn't abandoned. It was delayed. Not because Canon couldn't make it, but because the technology to truly justify it wasn't ready. That changes in 2025. Now, all signs point to Canon preparing a camera that blends the best of two worlds. A body that delivers both high resolution and high speed. A true hybrid that could replace more than one camera in a professional's bag. For photographers who usually had to choose between sharpness or speed, the R4 might finally erase that compromise. Canon's lineup context. Canon's mirrorless lineup has always had clear roles. The R5 was about detail. With its 45-megapixel sensor, it became the go-to for wedding photographers, commercial shooters, and anyone who needed massive files for cropping or large prints. On the other side was the R3. Built for speed. A camera for sports, wildlife, and fast action. It favored rapid bursts, low light performance, and autofocus that could track anything. But the problem was obvious. You had to choose. Do you want speed? Or do you want detail? Until now, there hasn't been a single Canon body that truly offered both at the professional level. That's where the R4 comes in. Sensor breakthrough. Leaks suggest the Canon EOS R4 will feature a full-frame stacked APS-C sensor. Somewhere between 45 and 60 megapixels. For people who aren't deep into sensor technology, here's what that means. A stacked design allows the sensor to move data at extreme speed. No bottlenecks when capturing rapid bursts. A backside illuminated structure lets more light reach the pixels. That means better performance in low light and cleaner files. The combination of these two technologies delivers detailed images even in difficult conditions, while also enabling speed that used to belong only to lower megapixel cameras. Imagine capturing the finish of an Olympic sprint at 30 frames per second. Every muscle frozen in crisp detail. No compromise. Or think of shooting a fashion session in a dimly lit room. The model is moving, the fabric has texture, and you need both clarity and speed. The R4 promises to merge these worlds into one. For professionals, this is no small upgrade. It's a shift in what a single body can do. Processing power. Of course, none of this matters without processing to keep up. That's why the R4 is expected to run on either dual Digic X processors or possibly a new Digic 11 generation. Processing power isn't just a technical footnote. It shapes how the camera feels in use. A massive buffer means you can shoot long bursts without slowdown. Near zero shutter lag means the instant you press, you capture the exact frame you want. Autofocus doesn't just feel fast. It feels predictive, almost psychic. You have pressed the shutter, and the camera already knows what subject you're aiming at. This isn't just about raw numbers. It's about confidence. The kind of confidence that makes a camera feel invisible between you and your subject. And it's not just stills. Video shooters stand to benefit even more. With this level of processing, the R4 could deliver 8K RAW video at 60 frames per second internally. No external recorder. No compromises. And crucially, without the overheating struggles that haunted earlier Canon models. For filmmakers, this is cinema-level capability in a single body. Video capabilities. The Canon EOS R4 might be the most capable hybrid video camera Canon has ever built. Rumors suggest 8K RAW at 60 frames per second, and 4K at 120 frames per second with 10-bit 4:2:2 color. These are specs that belong in cinema cameras. And unlike older Canon bodies, the new stacked sensor and fast. Our processors should handle heat more effectively. That means no forced shutdowns. No constant overheating warnings. No bulky rigs just to keep the camera alive. For videographers, that could mean freedom. The freedom to shoot handheld documentaries without worrying about limits. To film weddings without interruptions. To create short films without carrying a mountain of accessories. All while benefiting from Canon's legendary color science. Skin tones, colors, and grading flexibility that many shooters still trust above all others. Still photography strength. But Canon isn't forgetting still shooters. The R4 is rumored to offer an electronic shutter capable of 30 frames per second at full resolution. And not with the rolling shutter distortion that plagued earlier mirrorless cameras. Zero distortion. That turns the R4 into an action monster. Perfect for wildlife. Perfect for sports. Perfect for fast-paced street or dance photography. Pair that with up to 8.5 stops of in-body image stabilization, and handheld work in low light becomes effortless. Shots that used to require tripods or gimbals might suddenly be possible handheld. For professionals, that means less gear, less setup, and more creative freedom. Built-in ND filters. One of the most surprising rumors is built-in electronic ND filters. Normally, photographers and videographers carry ND filters to control exposure in bright daylight. Especially when shooting wide open at f/1.4 or f/2. If Canon really integrates this feature inside the R4, it could change the workflow completely. No more swapping glass. No more screwing filters on and off. Just instant light control inside the body. For videographers, this is revolutionary. Smooth transitions between indoor and outdoor shooting become seamless. Exposure shifts happen with a tap, not a lens change. It's one less accessory to carry, and one more reason the R4 could feel like a true all-in-one system. Viewfinder and usability. The shooting experience is also set to improve. The R4 is rumored to feature a 9.44 million electronic viewfinder. That's one of the sharpest EVFs ever seen in a mirrorless camera. With this kind of clarity, you don't just frame your shot. You see it in lifelike detail. Manual focusing becomes precise. Motion tracking feels natural. It's the closest thing to an optical viewfinder, but with the benefits of digital overlays. On the storage side, expect dual CFexpress Type B card slots. That means huge capacity and the speed required for 8K RAW video or high-resolution bursts. For wedding photographers, documentary shooters, or commercial professionals, this reliability is non-negotiable. Body and reliability. The R4 will likely sit between the R5 and the R3 in terms of size. Expect a magnesium alloy body. Full weather sealing. A deep grip designed for all-day use. This isn't a delicate studio tool. It's a rugged travel-ready machine. Built to withstand Arctic cold, desert dust, or tropical humidity. Canon knows its users aren't just shooting in safe, controlled environments. They're chasing wildlife. Covering outdoor sports. Documenting real-world stories in unpredictable conditions. The R4 must be able to handle it all. Autofocus evolution. And then there's autofocus. Canon already has one of the most trusted AF systems in the world. With the R4, it's expected to get even smarter. Face and eye detection will likely be faster in challenging conditions. Animal and bird tracking could be enhanced by AI. Not just following movement, but predicting it. Picture this. You're photographing an eagle in mid-flight. It swoops behind a tree. Instead of losing focus, the R4 remembers the trajectory. The instant the eagle reappears, focus is locked. No hunting. No missed frames. Just precision from start to finish. For sports shooters, wildlife photographers, and event professionals, this kind of predictive intelligence could be priceless. Low light and dynamic range. A stacked BSI sensor also brings major gains in dynamic range and low light performance. Highlights hold better detail. Shadows stay cleaner, with less noise. For landscape photographers, this means more flexibility in editing. Pulling details out of bright skies or dark foregrounds becomes easier. For filmmakers, it means more control without giant lighting setups. Weddings in dim venues. Documentaries shot in crowded night markets. Concerts under flashing lights. All captured with clarity, sharpness, and less compromise. CLE. And shots at ISO values that used to be emergency only could become normal. Stabilization upgrades. Finally, stabilization. Canon's IBIS system is already strong, but rumors suggest the R4 could push it to 8.5 stops. That number might sound abstract. But in practice, it changes everything. Handheld night shots that used to be impossible suddenly come out sharp. Walking video that used to demand a gimbal now looks cinematic straight out of the camera. It's more than just numbers. It's freedom. Freedom to leave extra gear behind. Freedom to move faster. Freedom to create without limits. Closing section 1. So far, everything points to the Canon EOS R4 being more than just another camera. It's shaping up to be a bridge. A body that finally combines resolution and speed. Detail and action. Stills and cinema-level video. For many professionals, it could be the missing piece in their workflow. But this is only the beginning. We've covered the rumored hardware, the performance, and the experience in the hand. In the next section, we'll zoom out. We'll talk about competition. About pricing. About how the R4 fits into the bigger camera market in 2025. Because a camera is never just about specs. It's about positioning. And the R4 could be Canon's boldest play yet.